Hello and welcome back to the FIA European Drag Racing Championship. This is the last round from Santipod in England. Now we will see the conclusion and the climax of Pro Stock and Top Fuel. Now Jan Uren in Pro Stock will be chasing down Michael Malmgren. And in Top Fuel, it should have been a battle between Barry Sheavills and Kim Raymond from Sweden. But Barry Sheavills had a major shunt in qualifying.
Well, this is Barry Sheavills looking for that #1 qualifying spot. He knew he had to get that to retain the chance of the championship this year. But then all kinds of things go wrong. The team have got this car set up to run 4 seconds, 300 miles an hour. The chassis brakes right behind Barry Sheavills' cockpit. It drives him into the air as the rear wheels come underneath and then spits him out into the field at 280 miles an hour. A terrible crash. How is he feeling?
So Barry, that's one of the worst accidents that I've ever seen in drag racing, but first of all, how are you?
Amazingly, I'm okay. Got to say thank you to the rescue team. So we were actually even on that #1 qualifier. It was in the barrier before the quarter of a mile. Who knows what it would have been. It was certainly a fast one.
After that big shunt with Barry Sheavills, I'm sure that's not the way that you'd like to win the championship.
No, I'll say it would have been nice to outrace him instead, that's for sure, but it seems that he won't come out again. He won't be there tomorrow, so we got the championship now.
Well, Barry will not be very happy. That's very, very expensive, but more importantly, he kisses goodbye to his title chances. But now let's move on to the quarterfinals of Pro Stock. Well, I'm standing with Michael Malmgren, #1 in Pro Stock. Jan Uren is about 25 points behind Michael. So Michael, what are the mathematics? What do you have to do today to clinch the championship?
If we win the semis, then it's all over. So I'm saying we have a better situation than we ever had before. But still, you can remember, this is Pro Stock. It's very, very tough. So I want, for us, we're considering we just want to go very fast, win round by round, and that's it.
Well, here we are, the burnout leading us in, Russ, to the first round of Pro Stock. Hello everyone, I'm John Price at the finals day at Santipod, the FIA Championship, coming to a conclusion here. And Russ, I don't think I've ever known it to be so close in all of the classes that we follow.
No, everything's still wide open in Pro Stock. Obviously, Jan Uren we'll see later, see if he can overtake Michael Malmgren. But at the moment, we're looking at Jari Connolly and, of course, Hansen in the black car in the right-hand lane.
Well, Jari Connolly and Magnus Hansen, we've got Dodge against Firebird here as they come up into the staging thing. Here we go, they're looking for 0.40 reaction, and then as close to a 6-second run as they can get. And that looks a good start from Jari Connolly. He takes the win. Great run from Jari Connolly. Takes the win with a 7.07 to a 7.16. Russ, the boy's on form.
The boy is on form, and of course Jari would have been in a chance with the title this weekend had he not got married on the same weekend as the Hockenheim round, but love comes first.
Oh, absolutely right, I couldn't agree more. L'amour survive. Here we go into the next pair, and this puts Kenneth Soderstrom against this man, the Semcon car of Jakob Ferrer, and currently Jakob sits in the #3 spot in the championship. Does he have a chance? I don't think so. He is some 110 points behind championship leader Michael Malmgren, but here we go. Ferrer is the man expected to win this one as we come up to the staging teams once more. They're both in full stage. Right-hand lane is away second, and this is a terrible upset. Jakob Ferrer is out. Through, taking the win, goes Kenneth Soderstrom with his Firebird. What went wrong there, Russ?
Well, unusually, Jakob Ferrer just doesn't hook up on the start line, which, as I say, is slightly unusual this weekend because this track is very, very well prepared and it's running to form, but hands Kenneth Soderstrom an easy win.
Well, he does indeed, a 7.27 run, takes the win, but now we're going to watch the next pair with great interest as the man who can win the championship is in this yellow car.
You've got your #1 engine back in the car.
Yeah, we got the #1 engine and it's working fine, so we're just trying to fine-tune it a little bit and see what we can do here.
Well, you know, he's got to win this race, Jan Uren, if he wants to challenge for the championship. He's only 22 points behind Michael Malmgren.
Well, Jan Muren in the left-hand lane, nosing his way into full stage. Let's see what happens with Chris at stage now, and Jan Muren takes a very, very easy win. I think...
Problems, I think, with Chris Anderson there.
I think he was asleep, John, on the line. Don't know what happened there.
Only a little bit, and look, the crew very, very happy with that. So Jan Muren then, with a chance now at the championship, but just watch this. Krista Anderson, I don't know what went wrong there. Seems that everything went wrong on the start line for the opposing driver. Jan Muren's through.
Well, I think he hit the snooze button there, John, instead of the accelerator. This is Michael Malmgren, luckily on a VIA run as #1 qualifier.
Well, indeed, Michael and the AC Stelco Camaro has been runner-up now for the last couple of seasons to Nicholas Anderson. Anderson has retired, but for poor Michael Malmgren, who was #1 qualifier here, leads the championship only by a few points. There is always somebody to put him under pressure. The 2002 series, it's been Jan Muren. So this will give us an idea of what Michael is setting his score out to look like. Here we go. He's our #1 qualifier, as I said, running in the 60s. That's a tremendous shot. This swoopy car powers down the quarter mile, runs through there, 6 seconds again. Michael is saying, hey, I want to be the champion this year. The crew are saying, we are going to be the champions this year. Well, this sets up a very interesting set of semi-finals here. Jari Connella against Michael Malmgren, Jan Muren against Kenneth Soderstrom. Well, here we go, on with Top Fuel, and leading into this round, of course, that terrible crash from Barry Sheavills, throwing the championship, as it did last year, wide open, coming again down to the wire.
But anyway, this is Micke Kagered, who I think is going to be doing Top Fuel full-time next year, up against Britain's Darrell Bradford.
Well, Darrell, still a rookie in this particular class, flying the Union Jack on his car. But of course, Kagered, a man who can run down into the 4-second bracket with the Barco sponsor machine. And they're off and running, Kagered out in front. Great run from Michael Kagered. And things have gone seriously wrong here. Oh, look at this. The car, the tyres have let go. Michael Kagered has gone into the field. Everything has come off of that car. All of that. Well, this is like Barry Sheavills all over again. All of that at 280 miles per hour plus, and parts are still falling off of the car. And this is all that remains of Michael Kagered's car. Everything has come up. Rust, this looks terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, John. Fortunately, the paramedics, all the emergency services are on the scene very, very quickly. Obviously, we'll find out as soon as we can about Michael.
And you can just see exactly what happens there. The tyre explodes, it takes out the rear wing, which of course then takes away any hope that Michael has got of controlling the car, and then he is into that barrel roll with the machine into the field. So what we're hoping here, of course, is that Michael is okay. These machines are built to withstand this sort of impact. He sits in a complete cell surrounded by roll cage. Fingers crossed that Michael is okay.
On board with Darrell, you can see Michael overtaking him in the left lane. Then you see that left tyre explode. Let's take a look at it. Darrell Bradford is very lucky not to be collecting bits and parts straight into his face. He negotiates around the outside of the wings and the debris. Michael careers off to the right-hand side of the shot. We can only hope that that he's okay.
The audience here, the spectators, there's the engine simmering away on its own in the field. Everything has come off, and the hardest thing here now is, without knowing what sort of condition Michael Kagered is in, all of the other drivers have got to come out and race. Psychologically, this is a huge mountain to climb.
Andy Carter, last year's European champion, is now coming out. We've had two major Top Fuel shunts now. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that Andy gets safely to the end of this track.
Well, Andy should have been racing, of course, against Barry Sheavills. And Andy looking for a good run here. Remember, he was last year's champion and runs through 5.53, just under 200 miles per hour. Thank God, safely.
Well, the news is good. Michael Kagered's out, he's talking, he's fine, and he's in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. This is Suzanne Calling.
Well, here we have the young Swedish lady here, just 18, heading towards her 19th birthday really, really soon now. But she was due to come up against Peter Lantz, driving Pelle Lindelöf's car. She just cruises the car through. She doesn't need to brake bits. She's been very sensible.
But well done to Suzanne. She's obviously through to the semi-finals, where I think she'll probably meet Andy Carter.
Well, Russ, this is our final pair of quarter-finalists now, and this is the all-important race. The US Auto Deal car of Kim Raymond, the man who could now take the championship from Barry Sheavills, but finding himself up against Tommy Moller, and Moller has been doing really, really well this season.
Yeah, he has, but I mean, Kim Raymond will take this one. He's on a complete charge. He's going to, well, he is the European champion now. Muller goes into full stage. Kim follows him. Away they go. It's Muller at half track, but Kim Raymond puts the hammer down. Muller almost breezes along the actual concrete arm code there. And I don't quite know what happened, but watch Muller's car. He drifts over to the right-hand side, pops a big wheelie. He's lucky not to be added to our list of crash statistics.
Yeah, indeed. Well, a 53 to a 55 reaction time. That sets up our semi-finals here now. Kim's going to have a bye then, and Andy Carter finds himself up against the lady, Suzanne Callin.
Well, big drama here at Santapod. Michael Kagered and Barry Sheavills totaling their top fuel dragsters. Let's go back to the action at the semi-finals of Pro Stock.
Well, I wonder now, Russ, just how Michael Malmgren is feeling, because he never reacts well to pressure, and this is the pressure race. This is the one he has got to win if he wants the championship in 2002. If Jari Connella beats him, then he's in all sorts of problems and stands a chance of losing.
But let's see what happens. Jari can put Michael out of the championship on this race.
And away they go, and it is Michael Malmgren who gets away first. A better start line reaction. Jari Connella running well this weekend, but Michael has done it. The 2002 champion. No wonder the crew are so very, very happy indeed. He even got out of the hole in front of Jari Connella, 51 to a 52. Doesn't say a lot, but then all the way through here, it is Michael Malmgren taking the win and the championship.
Not this one close to me, the other one.
Yeah.
You won.
Ah! Go!
I think that says it all.
Oh, that's all. That's all. The pressure's gone. To race Jari Connella, I mean, he is a tough driver. Thanks to Goodyear tires and Elskadelko, I'm
Speechless.
Okay, well, there you are. Mass celebration. Michael Malmgren, at long last, repaying his sponsor's faith. He gets the championship, but now we'll see who meets him in the final. Because here's our next pair coming up to the start line. It is going to be Jan Muren. Here he is, sitting in his Oldsmobile Cutlass, and he's up against Kenneth Soderstrom.
Jan Muren will not be that happy, although he's a tremendous sportsman. Obviously, he'll be second in the series, but it will be nice to see if Jan Muren meets Michael in the final. Let's see what happens. Jan Muren puts the hammer down, guns it. Kenneth seems to be about 2 cars behind Jan. Jaron over the line, popping the chutes, taking the win.
But it was Kenneth Soderstrom who got out the traps first, a 52 to a 56. But then the winning times for that car, that yellow car of Jan Muren, a 7-0 again, 7:07, takes him the win, and he is into the final. This is how it looks. Jan Muren comes up against Michael Malmgren. He's now the champ. He'll enjoy this final. It was the first semi-final in Top Fuel, and if you cast your mind back to the season 2001, this was at the point in time where people were saying, could Andy Carter take the championship? Could it be possible? This year we know it can't happen because Kim Raymond has now got the Top Fuel Championship. Andy Carter with the yellow car against Suzanne Callin.
Well, this is going to be a tremendous race. Keep your eyes open. They're both in pre-stage, they're both in full stage. Andy Carter is away first. Suzanne puts the hammer down, and it's Suzanne that takes the win. Andy Carter will be gutted.
Well, indeed, but Suzanne Callin, the best that car has ever run with that lady on board. She gets away second, a 64 to a 59 reaction time, but then suddenly the car shows its perfect form and runs a 5:08.
He beat the king, Andy Carter, last year's European champion.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, tell me about the race. Was that good?
Yeah, it was good. Just kept going.
If things go to plan, you'll meet Kim Raymond in the final.
Yeah, that would be good. The new champion this year.
I say if Kim Raymond gets through, which he probably will do, Suzanne will be in the final of Top Fuel. And that'd be a nice little thing for her to say, I've beaten last year's European champion, Andy Carter, and beaten this year's champion, Kim Raymond. But let's wait and see what happens. Okay, Andy.
I don't want to do
Don't you? Okay. And he's just getting in his car, doesn't want to talk. He's obviously completely gutted. Let's see if one of the guys from the crew will have a quick word.
The track's just been difficult this weekend to set
Yeah?
the car up. Yeah. Everybody else has got a better handle on it than us. That's all there is to it.
So did you light it up?
We didn't set the car on kill, but we set it a bit harder. We actually set it exactly the same as this time last year when we won the meeting, but it didn't work. Can't get it right every time.
Interesting words from Eddie Kågered, Andy Carter's crew chief, and Russ, obviously Andy, very, very upset at not getting through to the final this year.
Well, yeah, this time last year he went from 4th to 1st in one go. Not going to happen this year. This is the European champion that we're looking at now. He's on a bye run. He will meet Suzanne in the final. It will just be interesting to, well, that's quite interesting. Something's obviously gone significantly wrong there. Let's just make sure there's nothing terminal that won't allow him to get through to the final, but he's cruising along. It doesn't seem to have completely wrecked the motor.
No, I just think that he's just done a practice launch. He's got to get the car down the track to go through into the final. I don't think anything has gone wrong with the car. I think he's just saving parts. At this stage in the game, he knows he's the champ and he's just drifting through. So I'm just trying to hear whether that engine is still running, Russ, or whether he is just on silent mode at the moment. But let's just have a look.
Well, something
went. You were quite right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think something has gone on the car.
Something has gone wrong.
Maybe
there.
the burst panel's gone.
Yeah,
on the front of the supercharger.
Yeah, I'd say the burst panel has let go. He's getting out of the car. There's something wrong with it. Let's just hope they can fix it. Otherwise, Suzanne will be taking the lead and taking the win here by default.
Well, here we are. This is how it looks then. The champion-elect is there against Suzanne Callan.
But this is the big one. This is the final of Pro Stock. Michael Malmgren, our current new European champion. But can Jan Muren get his own back by taking him out in the final?
I wonder, Jan Muren was runner-up in, would you believe, as long ago as 1997 in the Pro Stock Championship. He is a mean driver, let me tell you, but he's up against a man who's on a total high now. Michael Malmgren knows he's the champion. At the Goodwood Festival of Speed, he was the entertainer of the meeting. Here we go into the all-important start line. They're both there and away together. It is Malmgren who just gets away first in front of Jan Muren, and that's how it stays. Powers right the way through. A 698, just under 200 miles per hour. That is the icing on the Pro Stock cake.
I think it is in fact the cherry on top of the icing on the Pro Stock cake. Michael Malmgren will be going mental at the end of that track. He's now proved a point. He is Pro Stock champion and Santapod race winner for Pro Stock.
Well, I can't wait to see Michael's reaction after that win.
Well, it's the yellow mean machine of Jan Muren. Let's see if we can get a quick word from Michael, though. Just make sure I don't get caught on the parachutes. You got it.
Right.
698.
Well, what can you say? We are very proud, very happy. Been a good day for the AC Local Racing, FIA Championship, winning the race. Heikki Parmanen, Christer Gustafsson, the whole gang. Stunning. I mean, I'm out of words. It feels so good.
Mike has been on the top of the field here all weekend, so we didn't have too high expectations, but I think we gave him a quite decent run, and well, that's all we can do.
Well, all he can do for this year, he ends up in the runner-up spot, 429 points, just under 50 points behind Michael Malmgren.
Well, I guess it's been a great Pro Stock Championship this year. Michael Malmgren's been on the button 3 years running, lost it. This year he's done it. So I think it's exciting for Michael. He's driven well at every race, run really fast times, and finally got himself crowned European champion. So I'm delighted for him in Pro Stock. And the rest of the class with Jan Muren challenging very hard this year. It's been a very, very exciting championship, and congratulations to all teams.
Well, here we are into the final. Hey, a little bit of a remembrance there of Jens Nebo when he used to drive that car. Kim Raymond waving to the crowd during the burnout. Mr. Entertainer already.
But anyway, the good news is Kim Raymond has fixed whatever that problem was. He is up against Suzanne Callan, and he will not want to lose to Suzanne. He is the European champion. He will not want the, I'm not going to say the humiliation, because that would be the wrong word, but he will want to go out this weekend on top.
Indeed, he's given us the thumbs up here. There is a capacity crowd here at Sandipod, the biggest crowd I've seen in the track for years, and they have all stayed to watch this one. This is the big one. Now then, Suzanne, last time out, if you remember, was running 5-0. Is the car now on form? Can she take out the champion? We're just about to find out. It always surprises me, Russ, that Suzanne is only 18, heading for 19 years of age. She seems to be such an experienced pilot. Here we go. Into the safety pit. Away first is the man who's got the championship, and that carries Nate all the way through. Kim Raymond took the win, a 5.16 to a 5.69. He had that one on the start line.
The right result, I think, in the circumstances. This man has been professional and consistent all year. You can see at the start he does get away ahead of Suzanne, but she clicks off at half track. Kim takes the win.
Yeah, we're very happy.
You got the event?
We got the event and we got the FIA championship and we got the car running pretty good.
Was that a good run as well?
Nah, it could have been better, but we won.
Well, the last time Denmark won this championship was way back in 1996 with Jens Niveau, but this year is Kim Raymond's year.
Top Fuel this year has been very, very exciting. We've had lots of new teams out. Suzanne Callan from Sweden, 18 years of age, has been absolutely superb. And then Kim Raymond from Denmark, second year in Top Fuel, crowned champion, driven so well at every race. I know he's got the support of all the teams, very worthy champion. And then we've seen the old teams fighting very hard. Peter Lentz has come back. It's been a great Top Fuel championship year. And next year looks even more exciting.
Well, that's the end of the FIA Drag Racing Championship for another year. And as the sun sets here at Sandipod and people start to make their way home, we have to say well done to Kim Raymond in Top Fuel and Michael Malmgren in Pro Stock. It was always a very, very close fought battle in both of those championships. Bad luck to Barry Sheavills for a monumental accident in qualifying here at Sandipod, and also bad luck to Micke Kagered. But the good news is that Micke Kagered is okay, and I think I've heard that he's actually back at the track as we talk. But look out for more FIA drag racing next year. Well, here I am standing at the end of the drag racing strip. This is Sandipod Raceway. This is the last round of the FIA Methanol Drag Racing Championship. Very, very soon, the cars will be coming down this strip at around 250 miles an hour, so I better get out of the way. But the championships will be decided today in Methanol Dragster, that's either Peter Schofer or Dave Wilson, and in Funny Car, can Micke Kagered take the series?
Well, hello everybody from me, John Price. Welcome back to the finals here at Sandipod, the FIA Drag Racing Finals. And already this massive crowd here have been treated to some quite extraordinary events. Russ was just saying about Micke Kagered looking for the title here in Top Methanol Funny Car. Well, this is how it looks at the moment. Kagered sits on top of the pile. Just behind him is Urs Urbacher, then Lex Joen from Holland. But we were treated to this earlier on in the day. Michael Kagered, a very, very busy man, drives in Top Fuel Dragster as well as Top Methanol Funny Car. Found himself up against Darryl Bradford, and all manner of things went wrong. Watch this. The rear tyre explodes, takes away the rear wing, and throws Micke Kagered barrel rolling into the field at the top end of the strip. Parts coming off of that car. Russ, that was one of the worst crashes I think I've ever seen in my whole life in drag racing.
Well, it was a terrible crash. You can see Micke Kagered was locked inside that safety cage. Fortunately, the car or the cage remained intact, and Micke did get out relatively unscathed, but obviously was taken off to hospital and was not able to race for the rest of the meeting.
Well, this is the most dramatic shot I think I've ever seen of a Top Fuel dragster crashing. That tyre blowing out, removing the rear wing, so any chance of control Micke Kagered had at that point in time was then gone. And of course, he's then on a barrel roll. What has happened here, in actual fact, is the drag racing car, the chassis, has done exactly as it's supposed to have done. All the bits have broken off and left Micke sitting in that fuel cell. And from Darryl's point of view, here we are riding with Darryl. Russ, he was driving round the debris here. What a great driving job for him.
Well, I suppose we can smile a little bit now that we know that Micke's actually okay, but look at Daryl faced with the top field dragster blowing up in front of him, and he's driving around the parts. I mean, all credit to him. Other people could have panicked and just weaved off to the right, but fortunately Daryl was fine.
Well, the most important thing to Michael Kagered as we're watching the engine sizzling away on its own was, can I come out and race in top Methanol funny car? I'm afraid not. He will have to hope that his lead in the championship is not eroded as we move into the first pair of these top Methanol funny cars. Always great racing from these guys, and Leif and Dragster, last year's champ Russ, no chance of getting the championship this year.
Well, I think mathematically, actually, John, he does have a chance. You know, it all depends on what happens to Lex Yoon and Urs Urbacher, but first of all, he needs to win this race. So all eyes on the black car, the men in black car, that is Leif and Dragster.
Well, here he comes then, up against Arvid Grodem, and away second Grodem is with a 57 to a 52 reaction time, and this is what champions are made of, and Dragster drives by him, got a little bit of tyre shake away from the start line, but records a 5.98. We'll just watch him go. He's out of the track, just marginally in front of Arvid Grodem. Grodem, Russ, runs his quickest ever time, 6.29. So well done to him. So you're right, I think.
Were you pleased with that?
Actually, no, I got a lot of tire shakes this time. We're looking for the championship, and what happened with Micke now, we have to bring it back. So we're racing for both teams.
Remember, Leif is last year's European champion and was very much out of the running, but with Micke now out of the race through unfortunate circumstances, Leif will have one more crack at the title. But the question is, will Lex Yoon or Urs Urbacher go out in the quarterfinals? Let's find out.
Well, you are right, you know, Russ, because of course Leif and Dragster was the #1 qualifier here. Now that Micke Kagered is out, Ulf Leanders is out. Those two have been replaced by the two British cars you see in front of you here. The red and yellow car of Stephanie Millen. Yep, we've got a lady in top Methanol funny car. And the man flying the flag for Great Britain is Dennis Ratton here, a rookie driver in top Methanol funny car. So after the start line they go. Ratton gets away first, a 72 to an 85. But now Steph Millen, the more experienced of the pair, the lady takes the win. Hey, great stuff to her. She knocks him out with a 7.23 to a 7.78. That is very, very popular with this huge crowd here.
Well, a great win by, I think it's called She Devil Racing, isn't it, John?
It is, yeah.
But a great win. Steph will be very, very pleased.
Now that Micke Kagered is out, Ulf Leanders is out. Those two have been replaced by the two British cars you see in front of you here. The red and yellow car of Stephanie Millen. Yep, we've got a lady in top Methanol funny car. And the man flying the flag for Great Britain is Dennis Ratton here, a rookie driver in top Methanol funny car. So after the start line they go. Ratton gets away first, a 72 to an 85. But now Steph Millen, the more experienced of the pair, the lady takes the win. Hey, great stuff to her. She knocks him out with a 7.23 to a 7.78. That is very, very popular with this huge crowd here.
Well, a great win by, I think it's called She Devil Racing, isn't it, John?
It is, yeah.
But a great win. Steph will be very, very pleased. Let's see how she gets on in the next round, where she will come up against either Lex Yoon or presumably Urs Urbacher.
Well, here is Urbacher. So it all points to the man from Switzerland should take the win here, but Helander gets away first. But just look at the power of that Firebird. He takes the win, a 5.79 to a 6.0. Just bear in mind, of course, Micke Kagered's not here to defend the lead in the championship. Urs Urbacher is through. Leif and Dragster, they're the numbers 3 and 4 in the championship. Here we have the #2 man in the championship, the Camaro of the Dutchman, Lex Yoon, coming up against the man who's getting better and better all the time, Jules Johnson.
I think that if Lex wins this and away they go, and it looks like Lex is going to take this one halfway up the track, he puts the hammer down. Very, very close.
Wow.
In fact, it looks like something has let go inside Lex's car there. We'll have to find out a bit more about it, but the team are very happy. But I think that puts Leif Andreasen out of the title hunt, the fact that Lex has got through. I'm not sure, but I think it probably does. We'll find out more in a minute.
Well, a better reaction time to Jules Johnson, but the power coming in that Camaro, the split-fire Camaro, but then bang!
We have major damage. We popped the blower. So we got some small fire.
So the blower belt's gone, but I mean, apart from this cosmetic damage, do you think anything's happening? Oh my lord, that's not good.
There is more than only cosmetic damage. That's not such a problem. We have to take a look if we can repair the engine.
Well, this is how it looks then in the semi-finals. It's Leif Andreasen up against Steph Willem. Wow, that's a David and Goliath. And then Barker against Lex Jones. Right, now then, we're into the top Methanol Dragsters, and the man who was the #1 qualifier here this weekend from Germany. It is Peter Schofer, and record, if I tell you, Russ, that the top 3 qualifiers in top Methanol Dragster, there was only 0.03 of a second between them. Peter Schofer, we're looking at him now on a bye run into the semi-finals. Dave Wilson in 2nd spot and Rob Turner in 3rd spot. Now let's see, is Schofer going for lane choice? No, he's not. He just cruises through at the top end. He's not trying to break any parts. He's going to leave that up to the other people who actually have to race for a place in the semi-final. Now then, the 2 Brits coming out here. It's 1 German and 4 Brits contesting this particular event. And here's our first pair of Brits then. Rob Turner with the Netcall Telecom car finds himself up against the, well, self-sponsored Lindsay Duca in this blue Dragster. Now, Lindsay was our #4 qualifier, running in the 6.2, but Rob Turner, #3, 5.57, and problems away from the start line for Lindsay Duca. You can't do that with Rob Turner in the opposing lane. Rob cracked off a 59 reaction time, and then Russ a 5.62.
Well, yeah, a good run from Rob Turner. He's not in with the shout for the championship anymore, unfortunately. But nevertheless, he will want to win this particular event in front of such a large crowd here at Santapod.
Well, he was last year's champ, of course. And here's our final pair of Brits. Nearest the camera, the American car imports man, Dave Wilson. Dave has had the Rocky Horror Show of years. 1 minute the car is working perfectly, the next minute all manner of things go wrong, and he's what is going on here? He's sidelining the car, and Russ, if you look down, you can see a trail of fluid there on the track. Obviously, somebody has spotted there is a leak coming out of that car. This is a disaster for Dave Wilson.
Well, everything has gone wrong for Dave at the back end of this season. That car was running so quickly at the beginning of the championship. It really is heartbreaking. You can see Tony Cohen and the crew pushing that car back. Bad luck for those boys, but Dougie Bond now just going to cruise up the track and take this win. But big commiserations to the American car imports team.
I've got to tell you, Doug Bond must be wondering what on earth has hit him here, because following this round, he gets a bye into the final. so, I mean, it's incredible. This is how it looks then in the next round. Peter Schofer against Rob Turner, and then that bye for Doug Bond. First time rages for Doug.
Well, this is a top methanol engine. It runs on methanol fuel. It uses about 5 gallons a run, and we monitor the fuel going into each cylinder with these temperature sensors here on the computer. With all the stresses on a race engine, it's essential that you have a good oil in there. You can see with this valve cover off where the oil feeds and lubricates all the rocker gear. Also with the bottom end of the engine to ensure good bearing line. That is why a premium oil is essential.
Well, as the crews clear up the track here at Santapod dealing with an oil down, Urs Urbacher, Lex June and Leif Andreasen are still in the hunt for the championship in funny cars. Leif Andreasen has pledged to bring that trophy back to Sweden out of respect for Micke Kagered. Welcome back to Santapod Raceway and to the Methanol show. Now we know that in Dragsters, Peter Schofer has effectively taken the series, but in funny car there is still all to play for. Leif Andreasen is still in there with Urs Urbacher and Lex June. Let's see what happens.
Well, here we go. Leif Andreasen must be feeling that that championship, Russ, is in his grasp. He's coming up against, compared to him, the relatively inexperienced British lady, the She-Devil racing car of Stephanie Millen.
Let's remind everybody, though, that Micke Kagered, John, is still leading the championship, even though after his horrendous crash he will not be actually out here racing this afternoon. It's for these guys to hunt him down. So Micke Kagered could still win this series, but Leif Andreasen has to take this race. And I have to say, if I had money to lay down on this race, John, I would put it on Leif.
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, Leif Andreasen's been the champion over the last 4 years. He's been 3 times champ out of those 4. The other person was Micke Kagered. So here we come, up to the all-important staging beams. 3,500 horsepower for these 2 Methanol cars, and it's a red light. My goodness me. Now, I've never seen that before. Andreasen just trickled through stage, pulled a red light. This lady is the winner. Look, do you see that? Incredible.
That is incredible. I've never seen Leif do that before.
Look, do you see that? Incredible.
That is incredible. I've never seen Leif do that before. Something happened though. I think you can see the car sort of just bite a bit. I don't quite know what went wrong there. But, you know, you have to put it down as a driver error to Leif, and Stephanie will be over the moon. How did the run go?
It wasn't bad. I can't really think about much of it. Oh, dear. No, it felt good. A bit bouncy at the top end, but it felt good.
That's unlike him, isn't it, to red light?
It is, yes. I don't think I've ever seen him do a red light.
No.
I was more worried I was going to do one, because I knew I'd have to go for it.
Well, Russ, that lady has just put out the man who was really in with a great chance of the championship.
Yeah, all credit to Steph. A great run. She stayed on it all the way down the track. Well done to her. But this next race is critical. Lex Yoon second in the championship as we came to this event. Ursubach third. So basically, whoever goes through here, I think if Lex Yoon goes, there's almost a mathematical possibility that he takes the series. But let's just wait and see what happens.
Yep, indeed. So these 2 funny cars coming back behind the start line. Now remember, in the first round, Lex Yoon had that big engine explosion. They've had to really work so hard in between rounds to get the car back together again. They've been sourcing a lot of parts from the other teams here. Come on, up on the revs they go, into full stage, and away versus Ursubach, a 48 to a 60, and it looks as though the race is run. Ursubach takes the win. Now, Ursubach is in with a chance of the championship. He's just taken that run. Look at this, he was out of the trap first. Wow, every which way, but straight for Lex Yoon. And a 582 to Ursubach. Things are looking good for him.
Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah,
what happened to Lex on the line?
I don't know what's happened, Lex, but my car's shaking like hell, but then I go out of the battle and back in, and I don't see him, so I think, yes, I am in front and drive it through.
Thank you, lady. You see Leif? Yeah!
He's the guy.
He's shaking like hell.
Lex, what happened? What went wrong?
I don't know. We had to overhaul the whole engine. It was all blown up, so we just put it together. We did not have any time to look at the clutch, so we had too much clutch, and yeah, it went up in smoke. But the good thing we were there, and we had a lot of help from a lot of teams, so it was great.
Leif Andreasen is out on a red light. I've never seen that before. Lex Yoon obviously unfortunately went out. The motor was broken after the quarterfinals. They couldn't replace the kit in enough time. Ursubach goes through to the final. The question is now, statistically, what does that mean as far as points are concerned?
Well, this is how it looks then in the final. Stephanie Millen, the lady from Kågered in Sussex, finds herself up against the man from Switzerland, Ursubach.
Well, I think, John, that if Ursubach wins the final, that will put him on the same points of Micke Kagered, and therefore that could come down to the number of race wins. But let's check that out later on. Let's have a look at the Dragsters.
All of our racing in the FIA Championship of the year 2002 has been so tight, and none so close as I'm sure this race is going to be. From Germany, this man, Peter Schofer, with his all-new car for the 2002 series, finds himself up against the net-cooled Telecom car of Great Britain, Rob Turner. Now, Turner is the outgoing champion. On qualifying, there was nothing to choose between these two. They really are on the top of their form at the moment. It's all important. It's coming into the staging beams. This could be won and lost on the start line as they come into stage, into pre-stage, then roll forward another 8 inches into full stage, and Rob Turner is away just a fraction in front of Peter Schofer, a 53 to a 54, but it's Schofer who takes it. Already the champion Chauffeur takes a great win. He looks across to Rob Turner. He knows he's won. Russ, what a great race.
That was a good race. Germany beats England. England lost. But Peter Chauffeur's a great sportsman. That look across is actually to sort of say, you know, well done. Thanks very much, Rob, for a great race. You are the European Methanol Dragster champion. How do you feel? Good?
It's very good, yeah. It's okay. Congratulations in the team.
Yeah, well done to your team.
We built the car ourselves and everything is brand new, and we thought this would be a year of learning, and now we are the champions. It's unbelievable, really. We are very proud. I'm very, very proud for the guys, and I think they have deserved it.
Well, Peter Chauffeur's in the final, and so is this man. From Cheltenham in Gloucestershire, flying the Union Jack for Great Britain, it's the Shell Sport car of long-time top methanol drag racer, Doug Bond. Well, Doug, I don't expect for one moment ever thought that he would be looking to get in the final. He's got an automatic in to the final. He's on a bye run here. Now, I don't think it's worth him looking for lane choice when you think that Peter Chauffeur has just run a 5.58. But Dougie clicks it off after a little while, runs through a 96 reaction time and then a 9.05. He knows he's got to save parts for that all-important final. But well done to Doug. And this is how it looks. Through into the final he goes, but what a mountain he's got to climb. Peter Chauffeur, the new champion. Well, talking of finals, here we are then, Russ. And this is going to be one to say, but can the giant killer do it again?
Well, Steph will be enjoying this one, I'm sure. A capacity crowd. She is in the final. All eyes are on her. Urs Erbacher needs to take this race. As I say, I think if he does, it still puts him on level points with Micke Kagered. We'll have to confirm that. And if he is on level points with Micke Kagered, I think Micke actually takes the series. But let's see what happens, because clearly Steph will want to take this win.
Oh, indeed, because she's already put away Leif Andreasen. Can she do it again? Urs Erbacher, though, is the man who's been running right on the numbers right the way through the weekend. Been so very, very consistent, almost a bracket racing car. Running right down into those fives the whole time. Here we come, up into stage. Can Steph Millen cut a good light here and get out in front of Urs Erbacher? That's what she needs to do. They're in full stage. Erbacher gets away first at 62 to an 83. He's long gone, and he is tying with the champion, Micke Kagered. The crew are elated there after that run. But now then, I think, as you say, we're down to the number of wins to take the championship. A great run from Urs Erbacher. Really has stormed back in the dying days of this championship.
One, but we're still not sure about the championship, are we? What do you know?
I don't know. Some calculated as we have now the same points like Micke has. And in the rule books is something who makes more wins, and he have one race more win that I have. But when I calculate like we calculate, so we have the championship.
Well, there you are from his hospital bed. Micke Kagered takes the championship. Although the same points as Urs Erbacher, 363, it was done on the number of wins. Well, here we are then, Russ, the final of Top Methanol. Now, where's your money going this time?
Well, it has to go on Peter Chauffeur, I'm afraid. I mean, he's been out there all season. Dougie Bond hasn't run the whole series. Peter's car is tried and tested, and it is quick. And he's already the champion. He's got nothing to lose now, so he will certainly put the hammer down at the lights.
Remember, of course, this car that Doug Bond is in is the ex-Barry Sheavills car. This was a 5-second runner, a championship winning car. And if Martin had, I wonder here whether we're going to see another upset again. It's unlikely, I grant you, but Bond will be looking for the win. So here we come, Great Britain in that red Shell Sport Dragster up against Germany and Peter Chauffeur in the opposing lane, and it's all important start line reactions here which could really win the race for Doug Bond if he's pushed. Now then, he's in full stage. There goes Peter Chauffeur. Chauffeur gets away first. A 61 to a 73. Doug Bond does not have the power to stay with the German race car. Brilliant shot from the end of the track.